Former gubernatorial candidate from Georgia, Stacey Abrams, has been in the news quite a bit because there are some rumors that Mike Bloomberg might announce her as his running mate. Now, she was asked about whether she would be open to serving as VP previously, and she said no, but she's changing her tune a little bit. But before we get to what she has to say about it, I do want to go to this clip from The View where Sunny Hostin makes a point about how Bloomberg's problematic, he's done and said racist things in the past, but she would be willing to vote for him if he made one important decision. Take a look.
I think if we keep taking the Democrats down, Trump is going to win. So I say be careful about that, because what you've got, the Democrat is standing between Trump and fascism.
But if Democrats don't take him out, Republicans will.
Right.
I have no doubt this information, one way or another, you can't stop Oppo from coming out.
While he may be able to beat Trump, because in my view, he's been a Republican, he's been an independent. He needs a vice president that understands the community. If he were to announce Stacey Abrams as his vice presidential pick, he would be able to convince me. And generally, vice presidential picks don't mean a lot to me, but for him, he needs that. So I'm saying it, if he were to announce that kind of pick early on, I think that would be a winning.
Well, as I said the other day, he did a lot for the black community too.
Oh my God, I wanted to immediately go to the next video, but I can't help myself. What did he do for the black community? I mean, he's notorious for stop and frisk, which profiled, black people, black men specifically, pulled them aside, stopped and frisked them. More than 90% of the time, they had nothing on them. They weren't doing anything wrong. It was just a way of allowing police to just go out there and harass people of color. What exactly has he done? Anyway, I don't want to get too caught up on that because we've talked about it so much on this show, but I do want to go to this next clip because there's a reason why Sunny Hostin brought up the chance for Stacey Abrams to serve as Mike Bloomberg's VP pick, because they had this conversation previously with Stacey Abrams on the show. Take a look.
First time I was on here, I got the question about running as VP during the primary, and I apparently famously said no, because you don't run for second in a primary.
Right.
However, because that conversation started, I'm now getting the question a lot from folks. And the answer is, of course, I would be honored to run for vice president with the nominee. And it's a bit disconcerting because it seems really obnoxious for me to say that out loud since I'm not, no one's asked me. But what I want people to understand is that
in the media,
exactly. The issue is, as a woman of color, especially as a black woman, this is an unusual position to be in for someone to be considered possibly the next vice president. And it would be doing a disservice to every woman of color, every woman of ambition, every child who wants to think beyond their known space for me to say no, or to pretend, oh no, I don't want it. Of course I want it.
So look, I'm gonna be super honest. It's uncomfortable talking about whether she should, if Michael Bloomberg offers her that, VP pick position. It's uncomfortable to comment on what she should do because who are we to tell her, right? But when you look at Michael Bloomberg's record, I don't get it. I don't get it. When you look at how he governed as the mayor of New York and how he treated communities of color, how he has made these disgusting statements about women, how he's said incredibly transphobic things, referring to transgender women, for instance, as men with skirts on or dresses on. I mean, it's just,
but that was all the way back in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of these comments were recent. It's not like he said these things decades ago and the culture has changed. No, this is stuff that he's recently said, things that he's recently done.
Yeah, I mean, look, we could list a billion things. Like, Rick Snyder, the governor who presided over the Flint crisis, he gave him $3 million.
I know, yeah.
That's crazy.
He goes into various communities and offers money in order to get these endorsements, and it's gross. That's what we're talking about.
Or because he supports Republicans governing in America.
Well,
he wants a Republican Senate.
Yes.
He wants a conservative Supreme Court. He has spent countless millions of dollars to make sure that we have the Senate that we have now, that they choose the justices that they've chosen.
And a lot of the focus has been on his stop and frisk policy, but one issue that our intern Jordan brought up today, and I'm so glad that he did. Remember how vicious Bloomberg was toward the Muslim community in New York? I mean, he worked alongside the CIA in order to allow federal agents to track Muslim college students with no probable cause, no cause at all. There were agents following these students on their class trips.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of person that Michael Bloomberg is. So do you really want to associate yourself with him, his campaign, especially? Yeah, she's right. It is important for representation of women of color in the executive branch especially. But at what cost? Do you associate yourself with someone who's demonized your community while he's been in power?
I mean, obviously she has to make that choice.
Right.
Rightfully, a lot of people continue to admire her for the previous work that she's done, and she's done a lot of great work. She'll make that choice, I guess. It would bother me as an outsider. So, like I can't read minds. I can't say what people's motivations are, but I know why he would be choosing her. And it's to bamboozle people. It's to fool people. We know who he is, not just what he did, although that should be enough, but the way that he continued to defend stop and frisk up until like last weekend, effectively, and the vicious things that he continued. We know who he is. He's 1,000 years old. It's not like he's gonna change later on in life. This is who he is. The same way that we know Donald Trump, we know who Mike Bloomberg is. And it's frustrating too to see people on The View who would be so easily fooled by it.
Oh, 100%.
And they would, when the announcement comes out, there's gonna be great coverage of it, and people in the media are gonna be fooled by it. And it would be good for her, yes. And it's better than other choices he could make. But we know why he would do it, and we know who he is, and we know what he would be as president.
And I feel like we've come full circle because remember, the reason why Barack Obama chose Joe Biden as his running mate was to ease the nerves of white people within the not Democratic Party, but Democratic voters who didn't know if it really made them comfortable to vote for a black candidate or a biracial candidate, I should say. And now, if Bloomberg chooses Stacey Abrams as his running mate, I mean, it's the other way around. It's
well, that's good. That shows some good evolution,
I guess, but he's using her in that case. And I don't think that that's an important thing to do for women, especially women of color, as she says.
Look, I just, so he's gonna choose who he's gonna choose, they're gonna go or not. What we need to do, what the media hopefully needs to finally do is take all of this stuff that we've found over the past few weeks. Some of it's been news in the past, 15 years ago, a year ago, whatever. But people are really talking about it now. He has not had an answer for it. Those moderators, and I think one of them might be Chuck Todd, if they give him a pass on this, it's gonna be the most expected thing in the world, but it'll be deeply disappointing because, like we've had a year race, more than a year at this point, and up until very recently, it was relatively drama-free, not much happening. And they like to try to get drama. They like try to get people to attack each other. Like, what more do you want? You've been handed all the material you need for every question you need to ask Mike Bloomberg. And if they don't do it, and the only way that people on The View are gonna start asking these questions about him, other than Meghan McCain, is for it to become a thing on CNN and MSNBC and all of that. People need to know, when they hear Bloomberg, they need to know his record, because I don't think the vast majority of people know that yet.
They like to frame the drama, and the way that the drama has been handed to them on a silver platter isn't the way that they want it to be framed. That's my speculation. But I think that there's a way to get around the biased moderators. And I think that the one upside or the one advantage that someone like Bernie Sanders has is that he's been through this and he knows what the spin is like. He knows what the framing is like. And he's gotten better and better at just bypassing their framing to get to the point. And look, the point is the policies. The point is, hey, what are we gonna do to help the American people? And what I thought was so fascinating about the discussions in regard to Mike Bloomberg's racist actions and comments in the past is that when they're discussing it on cable news, they're discussing it in the context of this horse race. Is it gonna hurt him? Or let's say Klobuchar not knowing who the president of Mexico is, right? All they're thinking about is it gonna hurt her? No, let's have a discussion about whether you're qualified to be president of the United States
she's just a
when
senator.
you don't know who the leader of Mexico is. It's Mexico.
But it's so far.
It's Mexico.
It's so far.
It's like, it's not Kazakhstan, okay? It's Mexico.
I know.
And you're running to be president. How do you not know? Don't miss your chance to win a trip to Los Angeles and have dinner with Cenk, John, and me. Just head to tyt.com/dinnerinla to register to win. Sign up for a free Aspirations Spend and Save account. Then you just register your eligibility and swipe your Aspiration card daily on purchases to gain entries. Not only are you entering to win a trip to Los Angeles and dinner with TYT hosts, you're also not depositing your hard-earned money into fossil fuel exploration or production. As a friendly reminder, even if you already have an Aspiration account, you must still register for eligibility into the sweepstakes.